Yeah, Archit, over to you.
Okay, so good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us at EasyMy Learning. We are going to cover English and we are going to cover multiple chapters right now. Today, we will be doing the first chapter. So, allow me to share my screen. So, I hope my screen is visible.
Yes, Archit, yeah.
So, basically, this is a bridge course which specially designed for St. Xavier College and top college students in Nepal. So, without wasting further time, we will go on to the first chapter. The first chapter is articles, which is the basic building blocks while speaking English. So, as we go to this chapter, we will see how articles work and how they basically function. Okay. So, while speaking English, we have different words which we kind of use. In these kind of words, articles are a type of word which help us describe a certain thing and ascertain that we are talking about a particular thing, not another thing. For example, if we use the word, if we use the word, say, dog, we use the word teacher, or we use the word Kathmandu, we are not sure. We have to tell which dog we are talking about. We have to tell which teacher we are talking about. But when we use the word Kathmandu, we know that there is only one Kathmandu. So we do not necessarily need to specify which Kathmandu we are talking about. But at the same time, if we use a word like book, we have to specify which book we are talking about. For example, you are all part of this course, so we have to specify which course we are talking about. So to define which course in a sentence, we use two main types of articles, and then there's a third one which I'll come to. So the first is indefinite article, which is called a or an, which is used before a word, and the second type is called definite article, which is the. Additionally, there are situations where we may not use an article at all, which is called a zero article or a null article. This symbol stands for null. Basically, we do not use any article in front of that word. A simple example of this can be Kathmandu is the capital of Nepal. So we do not use a Kathmandu, the Kathmandu, and Kathmandu in front of that because everybody knows what Kathmandu is. But in general, indefinite and definite articles are the type of articles which we use to describe words. Now, to further explain to you how articles work, the first type is indefinite articles. Indefinite articles are a and an. So, indefinite, what does the word indefinite mean? Indefinite means that we do not know. We do not know which specific object, which particular object is being referred to. For example, there are multiple students here. If I say a student, it can refer to any of the students attending the class. It can also refer to any of the students in any other part of the world. So, indefinite articles denote something which is not certain or tagged to anybody. What I mean by that is basically anything which refers to a generic set or a group. For example, a student can mean any student. A class can mean any class. An eraser can mean any eraser. It does not refer to a specific eraser, a specific student, or a specific class. Now, there are two types of indefinite articles, a and an. Here we will learn when to use a and when to use an. And that depends on what word we are using it before. So let's not first get into the difference and first see some examples of when these articles are used. For example, A is used in front of a cat, a cat. This can refer to any cat. We are not specifying it is Bishal's cat or is it Archit's cat. We are just saying it's a cat and we are referring to the cat for the first time in the sentence. So we refer to it as a cat. A school. It can be any school. So we use a. Okay. Now there are two types of articles. There's one further level of complexity in this in English. One is called a and one is called an. For example, when we talk about apple, we use an apple. So here there is a rule which is applied. The rule is that before a vowel sound, we use an, and before a consonant sound, we use a. Now, just to refresh vowels and consonants, vowels refer to five letters of the English alphabet: A, E, I, O, U. So let's break this into two parts. There is vowel and there is sound. So vowel refers to A, E, I, O, or U. Any word which starts with A, E, I, O, U. But it is not that simple, like every grammatical rule in English which you will come across. So we are talking about vowel sound, which means that any word which sounds like it starts from A, E, I, O, or U, we use instead of a before that. For example, apple. Apple starts with A, so it satisfies this rule, and it also sounds like it starts with A. So we call it an apple instead of a apple. For example, elephant. Elephant again starts with E. So we call it an elephant instead of a elephant. Ice cream again starts with I, and it also sounds like it starts with I. So these are simple examples where we use an because the first letter and the sound of the first letter is a vowel. Now, when can it happen that the first letter is a vowel, but the sound of the first letter is not a vowel? So, this is the most common example used for that. You see, university. University can also refer to any university. So, we are using the word a over there. We are using an indefinite article over there. Now, why are we using a instead of an? University starts with U, which is one of the vowels. Then why are we using a in front of university instead of an? The reason for that is that when we write university, we write it with a U. But if we spell it like we speak it, we can make it start with a Y also. So we can write it university or Y university, like it's written over here. Okay. So that is the reason why we start it with a. Even though it starts with a vowel, the first letter sounds like it starts with Y, which is a consonant, which is not a vowel. That's why we write a in university, not an university. This is a slightly complicated rule in English, which will become clear to you once we go ahead. Okay. So just to emphasize, the word another common example of this is hour. Okay, hour means hour of the day, hour, minute, second, as you know. So here we write it as HOUR, but we say R, OUR. We do not we do not we do not pronounce the H. The H is silent. So in this case, even though the word begins with the consonant H, the H is silent. So that's why we say an R, not a R. That is another example. So this is something which will be more clear when we look at examples going ahead. For example, let's see some examples. I have an idea. Idea is a very simple word which starts with I, and we call it also idea. We do not pronounce it differently. There is no other sound. There is no other sound which is coming and distorting the use of the word idea. So it will be an idea. It was an honest mistake. Now, when we say honest, we again have a silent H. That is why we have included this example in our chapter so that this concept is very clear to you. Then, here, even though it starts with H, we pronounce it honest. We don't say honest, we say honest. Because we say honest, not honest, we write an honest mistake. We don't write a honest mistake. So we say it was an honest mistake without the H and with an an. So going to the third example, she is an excellent student. So excellent starts with an E and we pronounce the E. We do not remove the E. E is not silent here. So we say she is an excellent student, not she is a excellent student. Again, the word R we have discussed, H is silent. So it will be we waited for an hour. Now, the questions in this chapter will typically be a sentence where you have a blank and you have to fill in the word an article. Article, of course, refers to a or an or the or no article. Basically, you will say that this blank will be filled by no article. We can do without an article. We have to recap, we have already covered indefinite articles, which refer to something which is not definite, but it is being referred in as a generic way or being referred for the first time. So we can actually look at the any doubts which you all have till now. So I'll look at the chat window. Okay, so the first doubt is about university, which I'll explain. Okay, so you've already clarified it. Hope that's clear. So just to clarify again, wherever there is a vowel sound, university is a very peculiar word. There are not many words like university where you'll have to think outside of the box and see how to spell it phonetically. So spelling phonetically means spelling a word like we write it. In English, we don't often spell like we write it, like we do in Hindi or Nepali. Uh, i- so if we spell university, we'll spell it with a Y. That is why if we say university, we say it like university, which starts with a Y. Y is not a vowel. That's why we start it with. That's why we refer to it as a university, not an university. But from an exam point of view, it's better to remember that university is always preceded by a, not an, because this is a very common question which is asked all over the world. Okay, so hope all your doubts till now are clear. Now, moving on, we will go to the definite article, which is the. Now, definite means something which is certain, something which we can ascribe. For example, the boy. That means I know which boy I am talking about. The student, which means I know which student I am talking about. The course, which means I am referring to a course. I am referring to a specific course. I am not referring to some other course. Sure. Is there any doubt?
No, Archit, you can proceed.
Okay. So the refers to whenever there is a specific tagging attached. By tagging, I mean that we know what is being talked about. For example, I describe something, I describe a movie. So I talk about the movie, I take the movie's name, and then in the second sentence, I say the movie was very good. Because I've already talked about the movie, I can refer it to as the movie because we know which movie we are talking about. So now see this example. I bought a shirt yesterday. The second sentence is the shirt is red. So I've already told you that I've bought a shirt yesterday. Now I'm describing that same shirt and saying that that shirt is red. So now you already know which shirt I'm talking about. That's why I can use the and not a. That is how it's tagged. But if I start with the shirt is red, suppose this sentence was not there, I bought a shirt yesterday, you would not know that which shirt I'm talking about. That's why it's important to first introduce the subject and then talk about it in terms of the. Or when we are talking about something unique or which is known by everyone. What I mean by that is the sun rises in the east. So everybody knows that what the sun is, and there is only one sun. There are different suns for different planets, but when we refer to sun, it means Earth's sun. So we know that there's only one sun which Earth has. So we refer to it as the sun, not a sun. Okay. So this is another example. For example, instead of the sun, if we say the moon is looking, the moon is full today, which means we know which moon we are referring to. We know we are referring to Earth's moon, which we can see from here. That's why we use the without introducing that, okay, this is a moon, and then we say the. When we are talking about things which everybody knows about, then we use the. Another example of this can be the president was on TV today. Suppose we are in a country, we can refer to the president as the country's president. We do not have to first specify who that president is and then refer to him as the. This is one use case of the when something is unique or known by everyone. So we've covered two use cases when we are referring to something for a second time and when something is unique or known by everyone. The third case is slightly more difficult, but we will understand this. So just reading it out first with superlatives and ordinal numbers. So what is a superlative? Superlative means a specific type of adjective to describe a certain object. So basically, when we say, suppose we talk about a chocolate, we'd say silk is the best chocolate amongst all. So we are saying that it is the best. So the best is a superlative. We are comparing it to other chocolates and we are saying that it's the best. So there, whenever we compare, or the worst chocolate amongst all. So worst is against a superlative because we are comparing it to others. So there we always use the. For example, here you can see Mount Everest is the highest mountain in the world. Or we can end at mountain also. Here also we are comparing it. So we won't say a highest mountain. We will say the highest mountain because there's only one highest mountain. We are not saying it's a high mountain. It's the highest mountain. There's only one mountain which can be the highest amongst all mountains or the tallest amongst all mountains, which is Mount Everest. That's why we say the highest mountain. We do not say a highest mountains. Suppose we don't talk about Mount Everest. We talk about another mountain. Okay. So for example, we talk about K2, which is the second highest mountain in the world. So what will we use in that times? So for example, we can say K2 is the second highest mountain in the world. Here we are referring to not the best, but the second best, right? But still, we are saying the second highest mountain because even for coming second, there can only be one second. Or if there are two tied second, then we'll say, suppose person A and person B were the second highest scorers. But here also we use the because there's only one second position. Now, what is an ordinal number? Ordinal number refers to any number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So second comes in 2. So whenever we are specifying which number we are talking about, the second, the third, the fourth, we can't use a second, a fourth, because they refer to one specific tagged object, not a bunch of objects. So we use the, not a. So this is another use case of the. All of this will be more clear when there are examples, which we will come to soon. So now going to another use case of the, which is when both speakers know exactly what is being referred to. So this means that, for example, I am talking to my college friend and there is one mess in the college. So I say, let's go to the mess for lunch. Now, in a general context, this sentence can mean anything. For example, if I tell any of you that let's go to the mess, it can refer to any mess. But if I tell my college friend who I am staying with in college that let's go to the mess, it only refers to the mess within college. So when both the speaker and the listener or both the speakers know what is being talked about, then we use the. For example, let's meet at the cafe we visited last week. So, suppose me and my friend went to a cafe last week. So, we know which cafe is being talked about. So, we use the instead of a. We don't use a because we've already been to that cafe and we know which cafe is being talked about. Okay. So, hope that is clear. Another use case is before geographical features, mountains, rivers, seas. So anything which is there in the world as an object anywhere in the world, we call it a geographical feature. For example, Himalayas is a mountain range. So we say the Himalayas. There's a Narayani River. There's only one Narayani River. So we say the Narayani River. There's only one Pacific Ocean, only one Indian Ocean. So we call it the Pacific Ocean. That is another example. Wherever, so everywhere, what you are seeing the pattern with the is whenever we know which object is being talked about, we use the word the. When we are referring to a general object or we are referring to an object for the first time, we are introducing an object for the first time to other people, we use the word a or an, depending on vowel or consonant sound. A last example of a last use case of the is before musical instruments. So this is slightly peculiar. That's why just we'll cover this in little more detail. He plays the guitar. Now everything I've told you till now is that we are referring to a specific tagged object. But here it's not true. Guitar can be any guitar. It can be a guitar I bought from Amazon. It can be a guitar I brought from India. It can be a guitar I bought from Nepal. But how English works is whenever we are referring to a musical instrument, we use the word the. That is because musical instruments are treated with a certain sense of respect in English. For example, he plays the harmonium. He plays the tabla. She plays the sitar. She plays a sitar is not correct. In general sense of things, if it was not a musical instrument, so she studies in the school is not correct. She studies in a school if we are talking about the school for the first time. But in musical instruments, this is an exception case. This is not a rule. This is actually an exception. So here this is actually an exception. So we will want you to remember this specifically that here the rule does not apply, which we are talking about in general. So for musical instruments, we use the, not a. Okay. The guitar, the harmonium, the tabla. Even whenever we are introducing it, we call it the. We don't call it a. Okay, this is a peculiar rule just because musical instruments are treated with a sense of respect in the English language. Now let's see some examples. The president of Nepal visited our school. So we know which president we are talking about. So we say the president, not a president, because we are also specifying that he's the president of Nepal, which can be only one, which should mean only one president, not multiple presidents. So we use the, not a. The Himalayas are beautiful. As discussed, geographical feature the. Did you read the book I gave you? So I'm referring to a book which I have already given to you. So you know which book I'm referring to. And I've given only one book to you. So I'll say the book I gave you, not a book. The earth revolves around the sun. There is only one earth. And when we say sun in English, we means earth's sun. So we say the sun. Before sun also, there is always the, not a. Because whenever we say sun in English, we refer to the sun which we can see, not Jupiter's sun or not Pluto's sun. That's a very scientific, technical concept. We refer to the sun from which gives us heat and energy. So we always call it the. So just to recap important rules, before musical instruments, no matter when they are coming, it'll be the, and before objects like the sun and the earth, it will always be the, not a or an. Okay. Any doubts till now? Okay. So please let me know or please type it in the chat window as Bishal said if there are any doubts. I'm happy to clarify all of them. Now we move on to another type of article, which is the zero article or the null article, which means that we do not use an article. For example, if in this sentence, instead of saying the Himalayas are beautiful, I say Himalayas are beautiful, I don't use a president of Nepal. Here it's wrong, but in some cases it is right to not use a and the any of these words. Okay. So let's see when that is applicable. For example, I love Nepal. We know Nepal is one country and we do not have to specify that there's only one Nepal. Everybody in the world knows that there's only one Nepal and nobody can change it. So I will not say the Nepal, I will not say a Nepal, I will not say an Nepal, I will just say Nepal. So I say he speaks Nepali. Similarly, there is only one Nepali language. There cannot be more Nepali languages. So we will not use the Nepali. We will not use a Nepali. We'll only use he speaks Nepali. Similarly, she studies mathematics or we study English. There's only one English language, one math subject. So we do not use an article there. We use the word in its own. We do not use it with the article. So this is a case where we do not use an article. We skip the article. The second case is with general uncountable nouns. For example, water is essential for life. So, water and is essential for rice. So, when we talk about water, we can say a glass of water or we can say the fountain of water. But when we are talking about water in general, water as a state of matter, water as an object in general, we are not specifying which water we are referring to. So we should not use the for sure. Now your question can be why shouldn't we use a or an? So we are not saying a type of water is essential for life. We are saying water in general is essential for life. We all need to drink water, otherwise, we will not be able to live. So we do not use any article before water because we are using it in a very general way. We are not specifying which water we are using. If I say bring that glass of water, then I'm telling you about that specific glass. Similarly, rice is a staple food in Nepal. So you can see we are not saying the rice or a rice because we are talking about rice in general. So we are saying rice. But when we say staple food, I'm saying a staple food. Why are we not saying the staple food? Because there are other staple foods also. Rice is just one of them. It's not the only staple food. So we say rice is a staple food in Nepal. Now with plural nouns. So whenever we talk about a plural, plural means more than one. So as you would already know, singular means one and plural means more than one. For example, festivals are enjoyable. So if we say festival, we refer to Diwali, we refer to Holi, we refer to New Year, we say festival. But suppose we are saying talking about Diwali, New Year, and Holi all together. So we say festivals. So when we say festivals, not festival, we are again talking about general things. We are not talking about something specific. So we say festivals are enjoyable. We do not say festivals is enjoyable, and we do not put a the in front of that because we are talking about something which is generic. For example, dogs are loyal animals or cats are cute animals. We do not use an article over there because, again, we are talking about dogs as a species in general, cat as a species in general. Okay. The last example for null article or no article is when we talk about a specific person or a specific place. For example, I met Rita in Kathmandu, which means I'm only talking about one specific girl, Rita, and I'm only talking about one specific city, Kathmandu. So I'm not talking about anything else. So I don't want to say the anywhere in this sentence. Okay. Now we come to some examples of this. For example, plays football every day. We are referring to football in general. We are not referring to a specific type of football, American football, British football, soccer, league football, national football. We are just saying football in general. So we do not say or the, we just say football. Education is important for everyone. Again, we are referring to education in general. We are not referring to English education, higher school education, MBA education. So we just say education. We do not quantify it with a or the. Okay. We bought vegetables from the market. So here also we are talking about a lot of vegetables. We could have bought carrots, beans, tomatoes, onions. So we are saying general vegetables. So we are not saying the vegetable. Suppose you know that I've only bought tomatoes, onions, and beans, then I can say the vegetables. But if I'm just generally telling you that, okay, I've bought the vegetables, I've bought the sabzi from the market, then I just say vegetables. We will not say the vegetables or a vegetables. Okay. And again, vegetables is plural, so we cannot use a. So we will, and we are talking about vegetable in general, so we cannot use the. So we do not use any article. Okay. So this is another example. Now we are going to cover some common mistakes which are made while using articles. So the first one, which one of you asked a doubt about, is a university. The reason we are covering this again as a part of this book is this is a very commonly asked question. Will university be an or will university be a? So university will always be a, which we've already covered. So let's not cover that again unless somebody has a specific doubt. So I went to Pokhara last year. The reason why we do not use anything is we all know what Pokhara is. We all know what Nepal is. We all know what India is. So we do not want to specify the. We are not trying to define the object. Everybody knows in the world what the object is, which is a place. So I say I went to Pokhara last year instead of I went to the Pokhara last year. The moon shines brightly tonight. Moon shines brightly tonight. So moon is not a name object. It's a general object. Okay. So that's why I say the moon. Because I'm referring to Earth's moon. I'm not referring to something which has a name. Okay. That's why I say the moon, the sun, like we've already discussed. He gave me a rice is wrong. Why? Because we are referring to rice in general. He gave me rice. And second thing is rice is plural. You don't just eat one grain of rice. We eat like lots of rice, which a cup of rice, a container full of rice. So we always refer to rice in plural. So rice will never be preceded by an a or an an. And we are not talking about a specific type of rice. For example, basmati rice. So then I can say the rice. I'm just talking about rice in general. So I just say he gave me rice. Let's meet at the cafe. So if I tell my friend that let's meet at a particular cafe, we know which cafe it is. So we'll say the cafe because cafe can mean anything. So we cannot skip using the article. We have to specify which cafe we are referring to. Again, musical instrument, always the. This is an exception. The guitar. We cannot skip the article. We will always use the guitar. Language, we can skip the article because there's only one language. She speaks Nepali fluently. He visited the Kathmandu is wrong because everybody knows there's only one Kathmandu. So we'll always say he visited Kathmandu. Okay. So hope this is clear to everybody till now. This is our first chapter in this book on articles, and this book will be made available to everybody who enrolls in our course on our platform online, easymylearning.com platform online. But for every article, what we have done is given you 50 exercise questions. Each chapter has 50 exercise questions, and we have an answer key of that exercise. Um, we have an answer key of that exercise there as well. So this will help you practice and get better.
Archit, so we'll make this class little interactive. So we'll go each quiz, we'll go one by one to all of these questions, and then we'll ask our students only to answer this based on whatever you have taught till now. So the
Yes,
maximum whoever will provide the correct answer will have a cash prize award. Okay. So let's make at least 10 questions interactive with our students, and then we'll see the maximum answer whoever given the correct will have the cash prize winner. Okay. So
okay.
are you guys ready? All the students, put your hands up if you are ready to participate in these activities. Okay, great. We have a lot of hands raised. Okay, fantastic. Yeah, Archie, so we'll start with the first top 10 questions. Okay.
Sure. Bishal, do you want to have the questions answered in
By
chat or?
right. So first questions you can read it, and then we'll ask them to write the answer in the comment box. Okay. So the first question, right? Kathmandu is. So what
The
will be the correct
the
answer here?
So it will be
Okay.
either a and the or nothing.
the
This means nothing.
Okay. So Archit, let them answer. Okay. So we'll just you
Yes.
tell the first questions. So whoever answer first will consider that as the first correct answer. Okay. So I will proceed like that till the till 10th questions. Okay.
So
Uh,
Kathmandu is dash capital of Nepal, as Bishal asked. So please answer in the chat.
Yeah, I
So as
guess.
all of
Yeah,
please
already
go.
I guess let me check who had given the first answer. Okay, so Pius is the first answer. Okay, fine. We'll consider Pius as the first correct answer provider. Okay. Okay, the next question you can proceed, Archit.
And the correct answer is the. So Piyush is correct. The answer is the.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Now there are three three gaps here. Okay, so we want you to answer with three answers, not just one answer. Dash Everest is dash highest mountain in dash world. So all three dashes will be filled by either of these words or nothing. So please answer all three words. Please think about this once. This question we have included because it covers multiple concepts in just one sentence. So please try this question. We want three answers
Okay.
for you. If your answer is nothing, just put nothing. Just put like I'll show you what to put.
Yeah, null is
Okay, you can
maybe
put null.
people. Yeah, null. Yeah, nothing. That is also fine. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, we have multiple answers now. Yeah,
Yes.
Archit, we can announce the correct answer. Yeah.
So here the correct answer is the first dash will be nothing because we are referring to Everest, which is we all know what Everest is. There's only one Mount Everest. So we'll say if we had an option of Mount, we could have put Mount, but we don't have an option of Mount. So there the first dash is nothing. The second dash is the highest because sorry, is there a question?
Guys, please mute yourself and then just write everything in the comment chat. Okay. Yeah, Archit, go ahead.
So the second dash is the because we are referring to the highest mountain. So as we have specified, that will always be the to quantify it. And again, the world because we are referring to the entire world. We are not referring to a world. So let's see who has given the answer correctly
Yeah,
first.
I guess Siddhi had given the correct answer.
Yes, so Siddhi has given the first correct
Yeah.
answer.
Okay. Yeah. We'll
Okay,
move the third one. Okay.
so going to the third question. I saw dash monkey on my way to dash temple. Again, two answers. So here we've got two different answers. So we let some more answers come in before we reveal the answers. Anybody else would like to try? Oh, we've got more answers actually. So the correct answer here is I saw a monkey on my way to the temple. Okay.
Yeah, I think the first answer is the Yuska. Okay.
So is that answer correct?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So I saw a monkey on my way to the temple. This is the answer. Now, going on to the fourth question, there's just one dash. This is a relatively simple question. She bought
Guys,
dash umbrella because it was raining.
once we start the questions, then only you have to like once we complete the questions, then only you will start writing the answer. Okay. Don't start before we announce the question. Okay. So we have multiple answer again, but let us complete the question, then you can start writing your answer. Okay. Else we will not consider that as the first answer. Okay. Streets
So
are
here,
smart here. Okay. Yeah, Ajit. I think we have multiple
here
answer, right?
we have multiple answers again, and all of them are correct. The correct answer here is Anne.
Okay. Srishti, I think Srishti is the first answer.
So Srishti is
Okay.
the first answer. This is a relatively simpler question. Okay. Now this is another slightly tough question. So I want all of you to think about this. two dashes again, so use a comma. Dash Naraini is one of dash major rivers in Nepal. So
Now I'll
please answer
consider,
this.
yeah, now I'll consider the one who will write the answer, because already people have written without completing the answer. Okay. So I'll consider from Manoj. I think Manoj had just written after we completed the announcement of the question. Okay. Before that, I will
But
not consider. Okay.
but Manoj's answer is not correct.
Right, right. But again, people can write on top of that as well. So whoever
Yes.
had written on the top can rewrite, have to rewrite again. Okay.
So Samrat's answer is correct actually.
Okay. Okay. Fine. So consider
So
Samrat. Okay.
here, let me just explain. So everybody, most of you were thinking that here nothing will come. Narayani is one of here. Everybody knows that it will be the. So why will it be the Narayani, not Narayani? So again, when we are referring to things which are lesser known in the world or which are a general name, for example, Narayani can also refer to a devotee of Narayan. Okay, a class of Narayan. We are referring to a particular river in this case. So, yes, in your context, you may find the river to be the most common Narayani, but there are more Narayanis in the world. So, we are referring to the river. So, we say the Narayani is one of the major rivers in the world. And as a general rule, also, whenever we talk about a river, we use the. For example, the Nile, the Brahmaputra, the Ganga, we always use the. So this is something else which we should remember, that whenever we are talking about a river or a mountain range, the Himalayas, any geographical object which was covered over here, geographical feature, we use the word the. Okay. So once you guys go through this chapter, it will be clear to you, but it will always be the Narayani River, as we've mentioned here already. Okay. So moving on, this is a relatively simple one. And when we tell you, when we complete the question, please type the answer in the chat. My brother is dash engineer. So please answer.
I'll consider from Akriti. Okay.
Let's see Akriti's answer. That is correct. The answer here is an.
Okay. Great.
Engineer is vowel and vowel sound. Okay. So here the answer is an. Okay. This is simple. I think there is nothing to be explained here in particular, and everybody of all of you have gotten it correct, which is a very good thing. Now, seventh question is also can be construed in two ways. So here, what will be the answer? Dash Nepali is our mother tongue.
I'll consider from Samrat. Okay. Guys, do not write until we complete the question. Okay. So once we complete the question, then only you have to write. So again, Samrat, I'll consider from Samrat. Okay.
Okay, so Samrat's answer is
It's no article he had written.
that is correct. Because
Okay.
we know there is only one Nepali language.
Okay.
We do not want have to specify the article. So until 10th, we will go in order. After that, we will start selecting questions randomly so that you
Right.
cannot answer before we read. So,
Correct. That is that is good idea.
so the next question, the eighth question is again here you have to think about this. Dash Gita is dash holy book of Hindus. So please answer this question.
I'll I'll consider from Siddhi. Okay.
Okay, so we are having conflicting answers. Actually, we've not got. Yes, so the first correct answer is from Samrat.
Okay. So
So
maximum
I'll
is
ex
till now Samrat. Great Samrat. Okay, plus one more.
so here that will be the, because we are referring to a particular book. We are not referring to anything general. So we are saying the Gita. This is clear, hopefully, to everybody. Now, here it will be a. Why will it be a and not the? Because there's not just one holy book. There's Ramayana, there's Mahabharat, there's Gita, there's Purans, there's Upanishads. We can, so there's not just one holy book. If we say Quran, then there's just one holy book. But here we are referring to a religion which has multiple holy scriptures. So we say a, not the. Okay. So this was a slightly tough question, but hope you understood the concept slightly better. Ninth question is slightly easier. She wants to become dash teacher. So please answer.
Consider from Anisa. Okay,
Ninth question, the answer is correct. So who has given the first
Manoj,
I think
Manoj, Manoj.
Manoj. This is fairly simple. So the 10th question, again two dashes, dash sun sets in dash west. Please answer this.
Oh, oh.
So
Asta. Okay,
everybody is
I'll consider
correct.
from Asta. Asta is the first who answered after we complete the lesson. Okay,
Again, this
okay.
is correct. Both are those. Okay.
We'll go random now,
Now,
Archit.
yes, exactly, Vishal. So now we will be going in random order. Now we have 50 questions here for you to practice. And we also have the answer key for your easy reference when you get the book. But right now, to make it more interactive and more fun, we will be going in random order. Okay.
Five more
So
questions
now,
will go.
yes. So let's do number 24. Dash Bhagavad Gita is an important text, similar to a question we already did. Please answer this.
Samrat. I'll start from Samrat.
So Samrat's answer is the.
The
Is it anybody else who has any contrary view on this?
one has null. Naitik.
So the answer is the, as we've discussed, we are referring to a specific book, and it's not something which is very, very general, which is unanimously known. So we say the Bhagavad Gita. Okay. Now, let another just one request to all of you. Now, because we are going in random order, just type the question number before you start your answer. So we will
Mhm.
tell the question number just so that it's clear in the chat which question we are answering, and we can see who has answered the first. So just write, say 24, the 24 dot the. Next, let's go to question number 36. She gave me dash orange. Please answer this. Everybody is correct. The answer is Anne
But
because it's a
Pius
vowel.
is the yeah. Pius had followed the instruction. He had written the question number and then the answer also. I'll consider Pius. Then.
Yes. So this is a very simple question. So everybody got it right. Very, very good. Now let's go to question 11. Can you play dash guitar? Please answer this. Question 11. So everybody is answering the, which is correct, as we've already talked about. Musical instrument, the. Okay. So who was the first correct answer?
1 second. I missed that. I got a message. Okay, let me check. Nabin, Nabin, I guess. Nabin, yes. Before that, Subham, Subham. Sorry, I'm really sorry. Subham, Subham is the correct one.
Shubham has given the correct answer
Yeah,
with the correct question number.
yeah.
Okay, now let's go to question number 19. It's dash honor to meet you. Please answer this. 19. So most of you are saying an. The correct answer is an.
Yeah. Naman. Naman is the not Naman. Pius. Sorry, I'm really sorry. Priyanka. Priyanka is the correct one.
Okay. Now let's go to question number 49. She is dash best student in her class. So the correct answer is the, because we are again using a
Yeah, Manoj.
superlative, what we learned.
Mm, Manoj is the correct one.
Okay, so very well done, Manoj. Okay, now which question should we go to? Let's go to question number 30. She wore dash sari to the ceremony. What will be the answer? So the correct answer is
Yeah,
because it
Manoj
can
again.
be any sari.
Great, great, Manoj. Manoj and Samrat is really doing well. You guys are competing each other. I guess Manoj has three and Samrat have all, four. So let's have a couple of more questions, or two or three more questions.
Yes,
Let's
let's
have a
have three, four
competition.
more questions. Last four questions, everybody, for the time being. So she 17, she has dash unique idea.
Samrat or Manoj,
What is
you guys
Samrat's answer?
no,
Sorry.
no, 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 no. Sorry, no, no, no. I'm just saying I have answer quick. So let me check. Question number 17, right? 17. First they started with Subham. Subham answer is and. What is the correct one?
The
And
correct
Naman is
answer
A.
is not
Yeah. So
an.
Naman is the second correct answer. So Naman again. Two correct answer here given, I guess.
So here again, unique can be spelled as unique, like university. So this is a very similar word to university. We can start it with a Y when we are pronouncing the word unique. So that is why we use a, not an. So this is also a common word which is used to test. So here everybody we have to be careful and use a, not an. Okay, that is why we have included this question in our test, in our practice question, in our, yes, practice question. Okay, so the correct answer is not an. Okay, now question 28. Dash elephant is dash largest land animal. Anyone?
There is two answers. Okay, 28 to answer.
So the first one is the, and the second one is also the,
Yeah,
because we are
Naman.
superlatively describing it, and we are talking about a specific element, which is the
Yeah, Naman is the correct one. How many questions left now? Two more or one more?
two more questions.
Okay. Okay, Naman, Manoj, and I guess Samrat first, second, third. So let's have a competition. There are two more
So
questions
two
we can
more
proceed. Yeah.
questions. So the next question is question 50. Dash rice is grown widely in Nepal. So what is the answer? Who has given the first answer?
Manoj, it's null.
Yes, the correct answer is null.
Great, Manoj. And now I think, yes, Manoj and Samrat have 4-4. Okay, correct answer. So let's have a winner now who is going to give the first correct answer, the last correct answer.
So now we are going to the last question. So let's see which question we select. So let's select question number 29. I had dash wonderful time.
Samrat need to give the question number as well. So Manoj had given question number as well as the dot and a also. What is the correct answer?
The correct answer is
Yeah, so Manoj has written it well. Even Naman had written it well, but Manoj had written 29 dot, the one which we asked to write like that. Okay, so I'll consider Manoj as a winner. So congratulations, Manoj. It was really a great from your end, and even um, Sambrat
Thank
and
you,
Naman had
Dai.
given a great competition. Hope you guys have enjoyed this session. And any other
I'm
clarification you guys need?
no, I am very enjoy
Okay,
this educational
great,
video.
great. So we have a feedback in our WhatsApp group as well. Okay. So I think
Okay.
Archit, we are done with the session for today's. Today we'll see the next session going forward. Okay, we'll plan based on your availability. Okay. So any
yes.
other clarification, guys, from your end, or should we conclude the session?
Mm, session is very interesting going on.
Great, great. Yeah, yeah. Everyone enjoyed. Please put your hands
Ve-
up. Just
Very enjoy.
we want your
Very
feedback.
enjoy.
Just great. Just put your hands up. Yes, great, great. I want everyone to put your hands up if you really enjoyed this session. Great, fantastic. Okay, everyone is putting their hands up. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you so
Um,
much, everybody, for joining, and we'll
Thank
see
you,
you
Dai, for
again.
teaching me.
Great. Okay, thank you so much, Archit.
Thank you so
So we'll
much,
end the
Vishal.
session. Okay, chalo, bye bye.
Bye, everyone.